Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into something a bit different, looking at how corporate guarantees and, well, really specific tech details come together. We've got some partnership documents and the actual product specs for a piece of kit, the Shinybow SB-5470 matrix switcher.
Yeah, and what we want to unpack is what being a, quote, platinum authorized reseller really means for you, the buyer. We'll use this Shinybow switcher as our example, but before we even touch the hardware, it's crucial to understand the relationship here. HDTV Supply.com, they're mentioned as one of Shinybow's oldest resellers. We're talking a CEO to CEO connection since 2002. That history, that's your first layer of confidence right there.
That long-term relationship is definitely important. So this platinum status, it means a formal contract to sell everything Shinybow makes.
Exactly. But more than that, it's about how they absorb the risk for you.
Okay, so what kind of concrete assurances are we talking about? What's in that contract that benefits the buyer directly?
Well, the first big one, especially if you're buying for, say, a government agency or a university, is that they ship only TAA-compliant products. Okay, hold on. TAA, before we gloss over that, for anyone listening who isn't deep in procurement lingo, can you quickly explain TAA? Why is that a big deal? Oh, sure. Absolutely. TAA is the Trade Agreement Act. Essentially, it means for certain U.S. government contracts, the product has to be made or, substantially transformed, either in the U.S. or specific partner countries. So if you need TAA-compliant gear, buying it this way just makes the whole purchasing process way simpler. No headaches. That's one way this platinum status takes risk off your plate.
Got it. So TAA sorts out the compliance side. What about the more practical stuff? Logistics, warranty.
Right. You get the standard 3-year Shinybow warranty. That's guaranteed. Plus, they promise only brand new products shipped securely in double boxes. And there's a 30-day no-hassle return policy. Pretty solid.
Okay, yeah, that's good peace of mind. But the support details you mentioned earlier really caught my eye. Free lifetime tech support, based in the U.S. over the phone, and a tech support line, even a dedicated product manager for Shinybow stuff. I mean, for a switcher that costs, what, under $300? Isn't that a lot?
It might seem like overkill, yeah.
Is it genuinely about robust support, or is it maybe just smart marketing to lock in bigger clients who need that level of hand-holding?
That's a fair question. I think it's probably a bit of both, honestly. For Shinybow, it protects their high-end sales channel, makes sure it's solid. But for you, the buyer, especially if you're a pro or an institution, it means your safety net isn't some outsourced call center reading from a script, They've invested in lifetime specialized support. So if something complex comes up, they're actually set up financially and structurally to fix it fast. They're supporting the whole system, not just the device itself.
Huh. Okay, that makes sense. That kind of corporate safety net definitely makes dealing with the technical side of things feel less daunting. So let's pivot then. We've talked about the assurance, the who. Now let's look at the what they're supporting, this Shinybow SB-5470 switcher. It's a 4x2 component video and audio matrix switcher. So basically it directs traffic for your older analog HD gear, right?
Exactly right. You feed it up to 4 component video sources, each with its analog audio, and it lets you send any of those to 2 different outputs independently. It's designed for clean signal distribution. And resolution-wise, it handles everything up to 1080p. So your 480i, 480p, 720p, 1080i, and 1080p signals are all good.
Okay, and for people really focused on signal quality, the tech specs matter. What are the key numbers here that platinum reseller and their lifetime support are essentially guaranteeing?
Well, the video bandwidth is listed as 250 megahertz. It's pretty substantial.
And what does that mean practically?
It means you've got a lot of capacity. Even if you're pushing a full 1080p signal, which needs a fair bit of bandwidth, 250 millihertz gives you tons of headroom. It helps prevent, bottlenecks or signal loss. Another interesting spec they list is crosstalk. It's rated at negative 3 dB at 5 millihertz.
Crosstalk. That's like interference between the channels.
Precisely. A lower number, especially a big negative number like negative 3 dBB, is better. It tells you the video and audio signals on different paths inside the switcher aren't bleeding into each other. Keeps everything clean and separate.
Right. So you get the technical performance, TAA compliance for certain buyers, and this lifetime U.S. support structure, all for $282.15. That's actually less than the list price.
Yeah, down from 295 millihertz MSRP. So pulling it all together, what does this deep dive show? It shows you're not just buying a piece of hardware here. You're buying into those specs like the 250 millihertz bandwidth or that low crosstalk, knowing they're backed by real, accessible, long-term support based here in the U.S. That platinum partnership makes the technical promises much more concrete for you.
It really is a blend of that high-level corporate structure providing assurance and the nitty-gritty technical performance. Okay, so let's wrap up with a thought to mull over. We talked about that TAA compliance detail earlier. It makes you wonder, how does a specific rule like TAA aimed at government purchasing actually ripple out and influence the wider global supply chain and manufacturing choices? It goes way beyond just the specs of one video switcher. Something to think about.